Hello everybody, welcome back to Fast Coasters and welcome to episode 2 of Paradox Point. I called my own park the right name today. Last time I was calling it Paradox Park for some reason when I'm the one who named the park, so just whatever. Anyway, today we're going to be building, as promised, a Mack Xtreme Spinning Coaster. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Completed this about 2 weeks ago, I'd probably say. Just took a little while to get the video out just because of the holiday season and I got the flu. So I hope everybody had a good holiday season. Very busy time for me. So that's why this video took a little while to get out. But yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the series so far for how short it has been. Really happy with what we built in the park thus far. I finished this area and I'm starting the next area with the next coaster as of now. So I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'm really excited for you guys to see how it's going to turn out in the next few episodes. So yeah, today we're going to build this. It's a pirate theme, obviously. I do have a name for it already. You'll see that in a few videos time. I'll upload a separate POV video for the coaster. The only big ride in this area is going to be this coaster. There's going to be a couple flats, but they're going to be jumbled into one episode, the next episode. But yeah, just figuring out the layout as of now. This unique turnaround, I didn't bank it just for so it could spin a little bit more. It's crazy to see this now because the area looks so different now. It looks so much better. The area I'm building the coaster, and it looks so plain right now, but definitely really happy with how it turned out. Starting this barrel roll, this kind of heartline roll, and for heartline rolls, when you want to smooth it, you're gonna want to put very little track sections. You're gonna want to put the smallest amount of track section you can do, because then it'll smooth out and retain the shape. Because if you use a big section like what you see I'm using now, it'll completely ruin the banking. It'll destroy it. So pro tip, if you want to make heartline rolls, just make very small bank sections and then smooth it over, and then you'll have a heartline roll. I put in a vertical turnaround element. Was gonna make it invert, but it was just not. It wasn't happening. It just looked very unrealistic going through it. Then I put in a loop, and then that that banked airtime hill just to get from point A to point B. That is gonna circle around the queue. I did start the queue in this video on the time lapse. Didn't put the whole queue in the time lapse because that'd be pretty boring to watch. But yeah, shorten the loop a little bit just because of the was going through it a teeny bit slow. I'm gonna hit the second launch now, and probably could have made that an airtime launch, but with our next coaster, probably don't want it to be too redundant. Putting in this another kind of banked airtime hill. A lot of airtime on this one, gives off really good airtime, especially with the banking at the top, and then it kind of goes into not sure if you guys have heard of the Psycho Drop element. It was on some Zeros. It was on, I think it was called Nightmare. It was at Camelot in the UK, and it kind of dropped underneath itself and came back up. So I kind of did something like that, but then it twists out to the other side. Then we come over here into this overbank, right over the water, and then it goes down underneath the station into a trench. And then it comes up into what is kind of the most picturesque element of the ride. It's I call it the capsize roll. It's kind of it comes through the loop and it kind of does a capsizing motion, it continues to turn over itself. Then we do a very tight helix down here, pretty close to the pathway, and you'll see what we do there. We put some walls up, and then put a second heartline roll in here. This one a lot tighter. And then that's when we're gonna bring the ride to an end. We're gonna start bringing it home. So, final brake run here. This is gonna run 3 trains. I do want most of the coasters in this park to run as many trains as they possibly can, without being too unrealistic. Because this is a theme park, so it'll probably get a lot of visitors. So we don't want 2 trains running on a major coaster. Siren's curse. Anyway, or 1 train like Flash. So. Just looking at the layout here, obviously it's not completely smoothed over yet. I just make sure it goes through the layout first, and then I'll smooth it over afterwards. Yeah, really happy with how it was running through the layout. You could kind of see the stats on the side. It comes in at about 30 miles an hour, so runs at a good speed. I don't think I needed to change the I don't think I needed to change it at all. And I'm changing the spin rate there. I found that the most realistic spin rate is kind of like 95, 90 degrees. Because if you leave it at max spin rate, it'll spin like a nauseating amount. So I noticed that even Ride to Happiness, while it's not like a controlled spin, it doesn't spin like at a max, like a nauseating rate, like what you see on like a Zamperla mouse or something. See right there is what I'm talking about with the banking. If you use too big of a track section, it'll just ruin the banking. And that's what I did there. So I just had to redo it quick and then smooth it over, and it ended up fine. But as I was saying, like the Mack Xtreme Spinners, they don't like spin like where you're gonna throw up. They still spin. They spin so it's fun, but they don't spin like enough where it's just like you can't see anything. So about 90 degrees per track section is enough, I think, for it to be realistic. Just checking my train colors here. I like to write stuff down in the notebook, so that when you see me stop, that's what I'm doing. I did add more detail to the trains, and you'll see that in the real-time portion of the video. Kind of like a wooden kind of texture to it, also like a bone white color that we're gonna add now, I believe. And I added that red kind of undercarriage just to give it a little bit more color underneath. But yeah, so I think I'm just looking at how it's spinning through the layout as of now. That's gonna be a quick show scene. Yep, just going through the layout, just checking the profiling. Some turns are a little tight. I did fix some of them in the after the time lapse. I added a couple of custom sports too, just to make it a little bit more realistic, as you can see like that turnaround element and the big over banking airtime hill. Just a little undersupported. So yeah, adding the 3 trains, and how I make it realistic is I set a timer for when the next train comes in, and then once this train passes the second launch, then I'll put that time into the minimum weight and maximum weight, and then as you can see now it's about 50 seconds, and then the next one will dispatch, so that it won't block check itself. It'll always make it back before the other one does. So that is good. And for 2 trains, I just do it so it's like I time it so that it's like right about at the penultimate element, so that they can roll the train. But if you want to be safe, you could always just set it, if it's on 2 trains, for when it hits the final brake run. But I always do it like so. Like if this was a 2-train ride, about when it hits the last 0 hardline roll, then I would set the next train to leave. But since it's on 3 trains, and I noticed I don't think any of the Mack Xtremes are on 3 trains. I think they're both on 2. I think if we see some in North America, they definitely probably be on 3. Like if Cedar Point or Canada's Wonderland got one of these spinners, it definitely probably be on 3 trains, unless they steal it from another park again. But yeah, starting the queue now. It's going to be a pretty long queue. It could fit probably about 75 minutes of queue time. But you probably won't be waiting more than an hour for this one. So like this cattle pen here is probably about the 50-minute mark. And then I added a second like extended cattle pen, so that like, if this was a real park, you wouldn't probably go through this cattle pen each time. But just we're keeping it in here just for like extended if it gets really busy. Just a small bridge over the trench, just so we meet the clearances, and then the entrance to the ride is going to be right next to the loop, under that kind of capsizing roll. I was going to put the pathway under the last hardline roll, but the clearance just wasn't working. So I kind of made 2 pads. I didn't make 2 pads. I made it, instead of making it go under the hardline, I made it go under the loop, and kind of like a harbor, like a boardwalk on the harbor, almost a kind of entrance. And it's gonna have like a building facade blocking the that tight helix, so that's what we're gonna do there, and you'll see that once I put that in. Yep, just putting it over the water. Again, there's a lot more detail to come. I do not finish the area in this video, so in this video in the real time, all you're gonna see is the like theming that concerns the coaster completed, and then in the next episode we're gonna finish the entire area, put in 2 more flat rides, and yeah, just finish the area off until we move on to the next one. But yeah, just checking the sight lines and the clearances quick. I like how this section is kind of like 3 sections of track pass over each other. And here we go, here's that wall. Again, it's gonna be kind of like a harbor. There's gonna be a big ship in the lake right there. There's actually going to be 2 ships. The one in the lake is going to be the generic Planet Coaster pirate ship, and then the one in the back I just took off the workshop. It's kind of like a ghost ship almost. Like I put the lake back there, and it felt like it needed something, so I just put this kind of ghost ship instead of putting the exact same pirate ship or the pirate like wreck pieces, because we're going to be using those in the area anyway. So I don't want to like use pieces too many times. I think I used the mast piece a little too much, but it's okay because they're all like different sizes, so I can live with that. Just building some of the buildings over here. I believe this is my first time using the pirate set in the new game. I used it plenty in the old game, but I never used it in Planet Coaster 2 yet. Haven't had a purpose for it. Yeah, we're not going to put a roof here. It's just like a facade, just so kind of from ground level. And then next episode, there's going to be kind of like a balcony. There's going to be a lot of paths running through the area, so I think you guys will enjoy that. Just adding some windows. This is kind of like I wouldn't say it's like a big plaza. Obviously, it's kind of small, but I think we're going to be moving into real time soon. I hope so. I love the real time section. That's my favorite section of videos because I get to show you like the finished product. But I know some people like to watch the coaster being built or some of the theming going in. So yeah, just like to put in the time lapse session to make everybody happy. So I'm putting in some of the custom supports in now, just to make it look a little bit more realistic. You'll see that the next coaster in a few episodes time has a lot of custom supports, just a couple of elements that didn't look very realistic, but you'll see. I'll reveal that in due time. Putting in this boardwalk here just to make it look a little bit more like a harbor as I intended. But yeah, so we're gonna put in the entrance now. Again, clutter is your best friend when you want to make kind of like a realistic park. Again, I don't go for like ultra theming because I like my park to run somewhat smooth. It's still running smooth as of now, but I'm sure after we get these 4 areas done, if we build any more, it's going to be a little bit of a problem, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, we are now in the real-time section of the video, back at our park entrance with our pirate ship right above the entrance, and in a few episodes time something else is going to go up there. I did just put the natural weather on. It is kind of just raining. So now we're going through the entrance, and we're going to go through pirate area, and I will give you the name of that in the next episode. Chart the Uncharted. So again, there's going to be a little bit more to this entrance, but it's just coaster theming that we're concerned with as of now. And yeah, so you walk in, and it kind of just opens up. You kind of see the view of the harbor area. Yeah, so there's coaster coming through that roll, and I added a giant water splash in the lake. Coming around this way. There's not much around here as of now, but in the next episode we're going to build this area out a lot more. Coming through the first Heartline roll, you don't get a perfect view of it, but it's still a pretty cool view. And you go up over that, turn around around some scaffolding, and because we'll be doing sort of a POV in this video, kind of like a look forward POV, and then there'll be like the more normal POVs in a separate video that I'm going to upload in a few days. We're coming up to an issue now that I believe is still a bug in the game. As you can see, this type of pirate wall, it's kind of got a blue texture. You cannot change it. It changes colors every time I go into the save, and you cannot change it at all. It does not let you. So hopefully Frontier fixed that in a future patch, maybe when the next DLC drops, hopefully like March or April or something. Excited to see what that DLC will be. I'm personally hoping it'll be steampunk, but we don't know anything yet, so. Here it comes around that helix again, around some like scaffolding, and then it kind of like surprises you when you're on the ride. You can't see the Heartline roll until you're already around the wall, and then you're twisting into it. So about when it goes through that helix, the next one should be coming off the drop, as you can see, and then drops down into this loop. Beautiful view of the loop. As you can see, it's still spinning, but it's not spinning like at a nauseating amount. It goes over that overbank into the queue line area. Yeah, definitely one of the elements I wanted to include was a vertical loop on this one, so definitely happy with how that turned out. Here it is coming around one of the masts, kind of like a near-miss element, and then that's where the on-ride photo point is, right underneath there. And then obviously it just says Xtreme Spinner, it's just a placeholder. I do have a name, but you'll see that in a separate video. And as you can see, the wait time is, I just put random wait times in the park. It's about 15 minutes for this one. For the big rides, I'll put wait times. For the smaller rides, probably won't put any. And it just says turn back now, because this kind of has like a storm theme almost, like a storm is wrecking the harbor. Yeah, so custom fencing here. Really happy with how this turned out. Going over the bridge now, and you can see the goes kind of added some water to that trench there. I believe it's just coming around the loop now, so you get a great view of it going over the twisted airtime hill going into the second launch. It goes over the first launch and then around the queue line, and then it heads right into the second launch. You can see back there, station, quick peek of it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Kind of inspired it over like a boathouse or like a construction, like, you know, when they have a crane and they're like working on the boat. Kind of just like basically a boathouse, an old school boathouse. It comes underneath. Probably could have added some mist down there, but there's probably mist. You can see here we are in this kind of like a working harbor section. There's a floating torch, but don't worry, I fixed that. Sorry for my coughing, still getting over the flu a little bit. So we put in the wooden planks on the ground, did make the path invisible, and I added these beams on the top just to give it a little bit more depth. And that barrel animatronic is really loud when you're in the game, so it's quite funny. Then it goes over the this section, so now we're walking underneath the first launch, but we can't see it. So we are in this kind of room now, kind of inspired like a Cobra's Curse room, you know, where it's like you kind of see things like on a wall. It's just a cattle pen. Anchor the Tide would be like the tagline for this ride, and I added a window here so you could kind of get some view of the outside world instead of being in a musty, closed-in room. And then you can see the coaster passing through into that second launch from there. Don't know if we could catch it here, but just going through the queue. And then we go up to the higher level. As you can see, there's the kind of JoJo roll element going into that first launch. The sneak preview of the kind of small show scene, kind of a flood. Yeah, so you get great views of the ride, so it's really fun to wait for. Obviously, no ride is too fun to wait for, but you do want those views of the rides. You have videos and stuff. In this park, hopefully we just have bins. And there's that pirate ship I took off the workshop. So, really nice pirate ship there. Yeah, and we're gonna watch you come through the JoJo roll right now. Kind of like what Ride to Happiness has. Obviously couldn't put a giant drop like Time Traveler. And it goes into the show scene, stops for a little bit, and then it launches off. You'll see that once we go in there. Kind of like a flood, as I said before. The storm is flooding, and then it's just going to blast off into the rest of the layout. So it goes up over that, and then it does this thing. So we're going to go into this now. It's kind of like a raised dock. Just so you can see the outside world. I'm not sure what you're going to see on that backside that's all empty right now, because I don't think any of our areas are going to branch into that, but we'll see in the future if we do any more areas. Right then, so we're going to do the sort of a POV right now. Hop on the ride station here. There's a speaker on the left. When you're on the ride, you'll hear a bell go off, like a ringing bell. You can see the bell, like one of those right there. And don't worry, this POV is not going to spin, so it won't be too bad. The car is in front of us, so go into that JoJo roll over the sand, into the right, kind of do a little hop up into this show scene. Again, it's flooding, it's like chaos. It's kind of inspired by that scene on Earthquake that was at Universal when the subway started to flood. And then we blast out, about 3 seconds in there. Go over this, nice airtime pop, and then just gives it some torque a little bit so it spins more, and then goes down the drop, no trims. And then overbank to the right, into the first Heartline roll. And then we go up into that turnaround, dive down around the scaffolding, into that loop, and then kind of get a little bit of hang time on the loop, and then we do that banking airtime hill around the queue line, and right there you can see the windows, and then we hit the second launch into this small building with the mist, and then we do our twisting airtime hill. We go around the mast. Again, when you're spinning, you're not going to be able to see that, so it'll be a near miss. Right there is our photo point, into another kind of twisting airtime hill, just kind of S-bending left and right at this point, into the overbank over the water, and then down underneath the queue, underneath the station, and then we go into the capsize roll. Can't really see. You can see the splash if you spin at the right moment, but yeah, just doing that tight helix, and then right around the wall, into the heartline roll, and then right over kind of where the exit is, just an airtime hill, and then right back to the final brake run. Yeah, really happy with how the layout turned out. You could see already how much it's changed since the time lapse, and it's going to be even better in the next episode once we finish the area. Now we're going to go on the exit path. You can see great views of the coaster yet again since we're raised up, and there's that crane that I said, like a boathouse almost. I did put lights on these trains, but they kind of were like clipping into stuff, so I just took the lights off and I put just a wood panel on with some ropes on it. And next train coming in. Yep, so happy with how the trains turned out. Didn't put too much theming on it. As you can see underneath, we have like mist coming up. I put the grates in just for realism, and then just some beam decals down the exit, down to our photo point down there. And you could see on the sign a sneak preview for our next episode. Not the photo stand. Photo stand's right there. Just a very small photo stand. There's not gonna be a lot of facilities in this area. It's just gonna be like, did I put restrooms in this area? Oh, I should probably go back and do that. A restaurant, but you could see there on the sign what our next ride is gonna be in the next episode. But yeah, I just put the one restaurant in the next episode, but I don't think I put any bathrooms in. But I got plenty of facades I can put a bathroom in, so shouldn't be an issue. You're not gonna see it in these episodes, but I did put in a train. It is in the back of the area, and it's going to kind of run around. So you'll see that in a few episodes' time. Just getting more views of the coaster here coming around. And right near its photo point. And then overbanking around to the rest of its layout. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how it turned out. Really, here's your overhead view of it so far. Again, this is just the coaster area, so the rest of the area is not completed yet. Yeah, just going through the helix, and you can see what I mean. It goes kind of like around that wall, and then it just twists right into the hardline roll. Yeah, definitely my favorite extreme spinner I made in the game. I think it's a realistic layout. I don't know if it'd be better than Ride to Happiness, but I think it would be one of the best coasters in the world if it was real. But yeah, we are coming to the end of the video soon. Just a quick look in here, just the like flood scene. But yeah, so in the next episode, we are going to be building a Gerstbauer Skyfly as well as a pirate ship. Those will be our two flat rides, and we'll be finishing this pirate area. I'll give you the name of that and all the other rides in the coming videos. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button just to show that you guys want to watch this content, pushes it out there, gets more people in, and motivates me more to do the videos. Also subscribe to the channel because we're going to have a lot more coaster content coming up. Next video is probably going to be my top 25 as of 2025. I got some new credits, so the list has changed. The last time I did it, I believe, was 2023. So excited for you guys to see my new list. And yeah, but thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next part where we finish the area. Bye, guys.